Talking Blue Raider football. Live from the Boulevard Bar and Grill, it's Rich Stockstill Live. 1 hour of football conversation with the head coach of the Blue Raiders. Be a part of the show on Twitter using the hashtag AskStock. Tonight's show is presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Bud Light, it's for the fans. And Ascension St. Thomas, official hospital partner of MTSU. Now with head coach Rick Stockstill, here's the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters. Let's go!
Welcome in on a Monday. No, it's not a Monday night. It's Tuesday night. Old habits die hard, but glad to have you with us on this Tuesday night here at the Boulevard. Glad to have you with us for Rick Stockstill Live as we talk Middle Tennessee football for the next hour. Glad to have you with us. And the Raiders hit the road for opening weekend and will be on the road again this weekend as they travel to Colorado State. But, Coach, your guys, today was a practice day and had to dodge a few raindrops, and that kind of throws practice preparation sometimes into a little bit of a tizzy.
Yeah, well, it's probably harder on Keith Bunch and his training staff and Larry and his Maples and his equipment guys, just because, you know, you get the field set up, the practice field set up, and we had to go in the stadium today because, you know, the practice fields with the rain, you know, so just having them to move around and then moving equipment, you know, blocking sleds, that kind of stuff from the practice field to the game field is a little bit of a adjustment, inconvenience, you know, for those guys, you know, and then we don't have as much room, but it's not as hard on us as coaches and players.
Where you tell the guys, hey, go to the stadium or go to the practice field. That's the pretty about the most of it.
And try to give Larry and Keith, you know, because it takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get the field set up for everything, and, you know, try to give them as much notice as we can.
Yep. Well, this past weekend, the Raiders opened the season at James Madison, and all fall camp leading up to the opening ball game, and then you go out against a really talented JMU team and probably a team that a lot of folks, you know, we don't play them on a regular basis. We'll start seeing more of them now that they're in the Sun Belt as far as playing at this division. But obviously a really good team that's won a couple of national titles, and they were really good on Saturday night.
Yeah, they give them a lot of credit. They did a nice job. They've got a good team, and, you know, in the same respect, we didn't play very well at all either. And, you know, I thought we never established the line of scrimmage offensively. We didn't handle their pressure very well. It wasn't anything that was so exotic or anything like that we haven't seen or prepared for. We just didn't play very well. And, you know, so hopefully we can get that corrected, because I would think obviously we'll see a bunch of pressure this week until we prove that we can handle it. So, but give them credit. They did a nice job, and we did enough things to hurt ourselves by ourselves, you know, without playing a good team like James Madison. We've got to play a lot better.
And a lot of the things that happened offensively, it goes back to not being able to hold their pressure out, and it came from up front. Did you see that in practice? Did you see that coming? Was that a concern?
It's always a concern, you know. Again, you can simulate as much as you can in practice, but until you get in a real game, you know, you never really know. And you know, so we just did some uncharacteristic things that we haven't done in August, and you know, so I've got to do a better job, and we'll do a better job. And, you know, we just never established any consistency, any rhythm, and it wasn't just their pressure. I mean, we had 7 drop passes. You know, we didn't play very well, and you know, a lot of new guys, you know, played out there for the first time, and hopefully that we had a good practice Sunday, and yesterday was a day off. We had a really good practice here tonight. So hopefully we'll continue to practice and correct the mistakes that we made these next 3 days before we leave.
Yep, and so that's a little bit of an overview from an offensive standpoint. From a 50,000-foot view defensively, I mean, people look and say, okay, well, you gave up 44 points there, but they got put in some tough situations, and also, I mean, again, made some mistakes there as well.
Yeah, again, we showed some flashes defensively. We weren't consistent enough. They came out the first half. They did a lot of stuff formationally, that they hadn't shown last year, so you give them credit for that. But they did a lot of things, and, then the quarterback was, he was better this year than what he was at Colorado State last year. So he was a better runner. He had some really nice runs against us, and he threw the ball. He was a little inaccurate early, and then threw some really nice balls there in the second and third quarter, and we just didn't do a very good job of making any plays on the back end. And there was a bunch of contested balls we had opportunities at, and, again, give them credit. They made the plays and we didn't. So we just – and then, again, to what you said, Chip, the second quarter they started, their average field position was the 47-yard line.
Yeah.
The third quarter was the 40-yard line. So anytime you're in, that part of the field, it just opens up your playbook. You can take more shots. You can be a little bit more wide open than when you are on the back end of it. And they did that. So part of that was, the fumble that we had, put them on a short field. Part of it was we didn't tackle very well on our punt coverage. We had a short punt. And then when we hit a couple 50-yarders, Kyle hit a couple big ones. We missed some tackles on their returner that, enabled them to get in good field position.
He's such a good weapon, Kyle Ulbrich, that, it was like, okay, it kind of was, when it was raining, it was pouring, because he had a couple of un-Kyle Ulbrich-like punts in the first half, but then, as you mentioned, came back in the second half, and he was able to do the things that he does, turn the field around. He had kicked the ball out of bounds in the first half, but that it seemed like he got his feet and legs back under him.
Yeah, he's a really, really good punter. Have a ton of confidence, a ton of faith in him, and just like any player, you're going to have some good plays and you're going to have some bad plays. And but no, he's a really, really, really good punter. He's a weapon for us, and he'll continue to get better as the season progresses.
All right, we'll take a quick look now before I take our first break of the night. Let Coach Stocky just got off the practice field. Let him catch his breath just a bit. Run through scores in Conference USA from the weekend. On Thursday night, there were 3 games. FIU in overtime hit a 2-point conversion and beat Bryant 38-37. Louisiana Tech went on the road against a Missouri team and dropped a 52-24 decision, and UAB blanked Alabama A&M 59-0. On Friday, there was, I think, one game, and that was Charlotte at home facing William and Mary. Charlotte dropped to 0-2 with a 41-24 loss to William and Mary. And then on Saturday, the matchups around the league, as the phone catches up here a little bit. UTEP on the road at Oklahoma lost 45-13. UTSA had a heck of a game that went 3 overtimes with Houston, and the Cougars came out with a 37-35 win. Rice played in Southern California, and USC got the win 66-14. FAU on the road at Ohio just about got a road win there, 41-38. Ohio U got the victory. SMU went into Denton and won 48-10. And Western Kentucky rounded out the night going to Honolulu and defeating Hawaii, who is now 0-2 by a score of 49-17. First portion of our show is brought to you, as always, by the Murfreesboro Post. You can find it on newsstands once a week, but always online at murfreesboropost.com. Tonight we are at the Boulevard. We'll take a timeout and have more with Coach Rick Stockstill after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
It's red.
With heated seats.
Serious air conditioning.
And that little compartment thingy, you know, where you put your sunglasses.
You found the perfect car. Now get the perfect loan with Ascend. We've got low rates, flexible terms, and you can apply online at ascend.org or at any of our branch locations. I'm gonna name her Betty. Auto loans from Ascend Federal Credit Union. Banking without the bank. Ascend is federally insured by NCUA. All loans are subject to credit approval.
Put Lee Company on your team and you'll always be ahead of the game with home maintenance, improvements, and repair. Sign up for a Lee Company home maintenance plan to have your heating and air conditioning system tuned up twice a year. In addition, you'll receive a comprehensive electrical and plumbing home inspection, plus member-only discounts and priority service, all for as low as $8.25 a month. For the very best electrical, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing services, call Lee Company at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Experts in bones, joints, and muscles, and with more than 60 specialists in locations across Middle Tennessee, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit us at TOA.com or give us a call at 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, or TOA, the official team doctors for Blue Raider Athletics.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life.
Hey, Chip,
Maybe
this
you're
is the
just
last
graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Welcome back into Rick Stockstill Live tonight from the Boulevard. We're at the corner of East Main and Middle Tennessee Boulevard, and this portion of our show brought to you by Lee Company. Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game and get your service done and set up from the Lee Company. Coach Stock, you touched on the offense and the issues that it had on Saturday night when you and Jeff Murphy brought up some great points on the air that when in talking to Mitch Stewart last week, he told me, I asked him, fill in the blank, Mitch. If Middle is doing blank, then we're having a good night. And he said, if we're getting at least 4 yards on first down. And Jeff talked about that from a quarterback standpoint, that if you are doing that, it lets you keep your playbook open and your play call sheet. Pretty much everything is available to you, but when you've got it 2nd and 9, or if you lose a yard or two, 2nd and 13, then you've got to get real particular with what you're doing.
Yeah, Chip, and Jeff's exactly right. And I think I said this yesterday at the press conference. We had 28 first down opportunities, and on 9 of them, we gained 4 or more yards. They had 38 first down opportunities, and then they gained 4 or more yards on 17 of those.
So half, basically. A little over.
No. They gained 4 or more yards on 28
of their 38.
And we gained 9 on our 28. And as you talk to your team, and our coaches know this, first down, there's such a direct correlation between first down and third down. And they were 9 out of 17 on third down. And you look at what they did on first down, there were a lot of third and manageable situations. We were 4 out of 16 on third down, and so most of ours were third and longer situations, 8, 9, 11, 11, 11, like you said. So that makes it hard, for an offense if you're not having success on first down. It makes it hard on a defense if you're giving up, more than 4 yards on first down. So
yeah, and if you do the math on that, you said, okay, they had 38 first down opportunities, but they only had 17 third down opportunities. So there were 21 series of downs that they had already gotten the first down, or
they may have gotten it on second down.
Correct, or first or second. That's right. What I'm saying is they had 38 series that started with a first down, but only 17 of those series had a third down play in it.
Correct.
And and that that's one of those things when you're efficient offensively, it turns around, and that's one of those things that kept your defense on the field a while.
Yeah, we just we didn't establish. We never really established an identity offensively in that game, and kind of got a little hodgepodge, and that happens, when you're trying to find something, trying to get something going, to energize your team, to get a rhythm, and we just, like I said earlier, we were never able to establish any rhythm offensively.
And couldn't get it going with the run game. And you saw Frank Pizon in there, and he got, in the run game when you have the battle of the offensive line against the defensive line, and if they're winning that battle, Frank's getting hit a yard behind the line of scrimmage, and it's also in the pass game forcing Chase into something that's he's not going to be able to go downfield because he doesn't have time.
Yeah, they when they were blitzing, when they were pressuring, they're overloading the box, obviously. So you're outnumbered in the running game, and people don't realize this, but 2 of our top 5 receivers didn't play in the game. I mean, DJ played 7 plays, Jalen Lane didn't play, so 40% of your top receivers didn't play, and then 6 or 7 of the other receivers that did play, it was the first time they've really played in a Division I college game. So and then you had 4 new offensive linemen, and I know this sounds like an excuse and all that stuff, but and I don't mean for it to come across that way, but there was a lot of new guys out there, for the first time, and that's why I'm so optimistic, that we're going to get better and keep playing better, getting better and correct our mistakes, and have a good week this week.
We are at the Boulevard here in Murfreesboro. We're going to talk some defense in our next segment. I want to remind you, if you're listening tonight, want to drop us a line. Got questions or comments, BlueRaiderNet@gmail.com, BlueRaiderNet@gmail.com. If you're here in the restaurant, we've got question cards on the tables, and if you turn those in, we'll get into questions with Coach in the second half of tonight's show. It is, we are again on a Tuesday night here in Murfreesboro. Glad to have you with us. We'll take a break, be back with more with Rick Stockstill live here on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Every week, our Blue Raiders go the extra mile to make sure they're at their very peak. At Sunbelt Bakery, they do the same thing to make sure their granola bars are at their peak. Every week, Sunbelt Bakery brings new batches of granola bars from their bakery to your neighborhood. That's why Sunbelt Bakery's granola bars taste like they just baked them. Because they did. Try a Sunbelt Bakery granola bar today and taste the difference. Sunbelt Bakery. Bakery fresh taste. No preservatives.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first moment of contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and proud partner of Middle Tennessee Athletics because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
MT Dining is eating made easy. With more than 19 dining locations, you'll never run out of variety on campus. Whether it's Chick-fil-A, Steak and Shake, or Starbucks, we've got the brands you love right here. Need a quick snack or Scantron? Stop by one of the 6 pods on campus. And try out MT Dining's new Farm to Fork experience. Farmers Market now open. Located in the Student Union. Visit mtdining.com for more information. Or visit our office in the Keithley University Center, room 202.
Whether you go online or go in person, City Auto in Murfreesboro is where you go to see a gazillion cars and choose the one that's right for you. And there's no better time to go than now because we have a bigger, brand new facility. It's the easy, comfortable, convenient way to find what you're looking for. Remember, cityauto.com is where you go to find your car online. And the all-new City Auto campus in Murfreesboro is where you go to see it in person. Go now, and we'll see you there.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage.
There's Bud Morris, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to him.
Call me at 893-1417 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
Middle Tennessee Electric proudly supports the Blue Raiders, and we're proud to power the scoreboard lights at Floyd Stadium.
The last commercial.
When it comes to the electric service in the community, you can always trust MTE to do what's best for our members. We serve by providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member services. Here at MTE, we serve to make life better for our members and their communities. Visit MTE.com to learn more. And about that scoreboard, well, light it up, Blue Raiders.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back into the Boulevard here in Murfreesboro on this Tuesday night. We'll be back next Monday leading up to the Tennessee State home opener on next Monday right here at the Boulevard. Hope you'll join us with that. Coach, we talked offense in the last segment. Want to hit up some defensive conversation here in this segment. And the first 2 drives that JMU had, what great plays Jordan Ferguson made individually along with his fellows to stop those. He had his first block kick ever in his tenure as a Blue Raider, and also just made a great read and block and knock down that pass.
Yeah, I thought Ferg, had great energy, was really good on the sideline. The whole game was, great leadership, played really well. And we take a lot of pride in our field goal extra point block team. And when I watch a team, Colorado State, the first thing I look at is their field goal and extra point block and kickoff coverage, because I think that says a lot about your team, how hard they play, the effort that they play with. So when you turn on our film, or when you guys out there watch, you ought to watch how many of their players are on the ground. And then when we kick, watch how many of our players are on the ground, because there's a big difference. And we take great pride in that, in the effort, no matter what the score is, that you're competing every second. And Ferg did that. He slipped through there, through the gap, and got his hand on it, made a nice play. And then on the 4th down play, where they flared the back, and, he was rushing the quarterback, and he read it and, came off the tackle and knocked that ball down. So Ferg is a really, really good player. He's obviously he's a great leader for us, and really proud of him. And the start that, and he got a sack in the game, had a sack. So you look at it defensively, a PBU, a block kick, and a sack, with a handful of tackles is a pretty good start.
And I think he had 9 total tackles on the night, but that was his blocked field goal was the 49th block kick in 200 games since you have been the head coach, and you go along with 49 blocks. You've also had 40 defensive scores in that same amount of time, so that's making some big defensive plays.
Yeah, it's everybody knows how important special teams are. We made a good play Saturday, but we also made some, not so good plays with the missed tackles that we had on punt coverage. So special teams are critical. You watch every game, the Florida State LSU game, especially early in the season, special teams have such a critical part of a lot of the outcomes in a game. And, so it's everybody knows it's a third of the game, and we emphasize it a lot. We spend a lot of time in our kicking game. Our coaches and our players do a really good job. So it's critical that you're really good. Virginia Tech, made a name for itself, special teams, before it made a name for itself doing anything else.
Defensively, going into the year, you talked about it last Monday here, that there was an expectation that the front four were going to be the strength of your team, and I think that obviously held up. That back seven with the 3 linebackers and the 4 guys in the secondary, you had so many guys that were playing as starters for the first time. Kind of give some thoughts on how you thought they fared.
Yeah, it's probably a mixed bag. I thought we did some good things and then some not so good things. But, when you have to replace, 3 starters, all 3 starters at linebacker, and then both your safeties in a corner, 6 of your 7 people on the back end, first time playing, there's going to be some, some highs and lows. There's going to be some plays that, are really good and some plays that, not so good. So, but their effort was good. We just got to play a little bit more consistent, a little bit better, than what we did. And I know they will. I believe in them, and I know they will. They care. They're good people. And, again, it's the first game against a good team, and, 6 of those guys, it's the first time they've been playing back there.
Yeah, one of those guys, Drew West, who played the strong side linebacker, you guys were excited about him when you signed him out of Knoxville West, and it seemed like we called his name.
Drew Francis.
Drew Francis a handful of times the other night.
Yeah, I thought, Drew played, again, he played really hard. He's on a lot of special teams. He played hard. Devin Curtis, same thing, he didn't play last year because of his surgery. Came back and played with great effort, played hard. Again, they made some plays. They'll continue to get better each week. But Drew did a nice job and, had some good tackles in there, and will continue to get better.
And Jonathan Butler, he's a guy you were hoping, that was one of those guys you were saying, here's a returner that's going to be able to help, but, kind of a kick in the pants there where he gets injured in fall camp.
Yeah, he was the signal caller. He's the mic, and, he's got to make all the calls up there. And, losing him, 2-year starter, going to be a 3-year starter. And, that hurt, but that's part of the game. Injuries are going to happen, and it's part of it. So he had surgery a couple weeks ago. Actually, he had 2 surgeries. And, so he's on the way back now, and hopefully he'll, get healthy and be able to, play next year.
So Devin Curtis is handling that job of signal calling?
Yeah, I mean, we're moving those guys around.
Okay.
Devin's in there, and
Christian Dixon.
Zeke. I was going to say Zeke, but y'all aren't going to know who Zeke is. Christian Dixon, was in there some. So, we got a couple guys running with it right now.
All right, we're about the halftime of tonight's show with Coach Rick Stockstill. We'll get our first look at the Colorado State Rams in our next segment. Brian Roth, the voice of the Rams, scheduled to join us after this. You're listening to Rick Stockstill live from the Blue Raider Network in Learfield.
From scholarship and grant programs to providing students with the qualifications and certifications they need to start their professional careers, the Tennessee Lottery has awarded more than $6.5 billion in funding to education programs, and we're proud to play our part. See for yourself how all of the fun of the Tennessee Lottery goes
Hey, Carter, we good?
Supporting someone's future and a brighter tomorrow at tnlottery.com.
Hey, Chip, no one's on the Zoom call yet.
Cold Bud Lights. You know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group.
Hey,
of
Chip, no one's on the
MTSU
Zoom
Athletics.
call yet.
We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For 81 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 1-888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Hi, we're RJ Young. We offer technology solutions that power your business, school, hospital, church, law firm, and
Hey,
more.
Chip, this is the
RJ
last
Young
commercial,
will
and
empower your
the
office to be
coach is
the
on the Zoom
modern
call now.
office. That means an office that integrates technology as a business advantage, all to help you work smarter. From managed IT services, office equipment and technology, business process outsourcing, and digital communications, we're proud to be your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Come visit us at rjyoung.com.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
Welcome back into Rick Stockstill Live tonight. We come to you on a Tuesday night from the Boulevard, right across from campus here at the corner of Middle Tennessee and East Main. And Brian Roth, who is the voice of the Colorado State Rams, joins us tonight from Fort Collins. And Brian, thanks for coming on with us. I know he's there somewhere. Oh, there you are. Brian, thanks for coming on with us tonight.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about new coach at Colorado State. Jay Norvell has come in. And tell us about his first 8 or 9 months on the job.
Well, it's really kind of been a fresh air for Colorado football. And, you know, the previous coaching staff struggled a little bit, and there wasn't a lot of fanfare around the previous coaching staff. And obviously the way that Colorado State finished out last season by dropping their final 6 games of the year to go 3-9, you know, it was a disgruntled fan base. And the administration felt like they really had to do something, which they did. From the University of Nevada, where he's had great success over the last 5 years.
Well, I know Brian is at a kids hockey practice. Are you there? Try that again, Brian.
Yeah, You do not have – you hear me?
No, you're breaking up on us pretty bad, but maybe hold one leg up. See what that does.
I'll tell you what. Let me go see if I can
you're okay.
Move to another spot here.
Yeah, you're okay right now, but you were saying that they came in with a good bit of fanfare with the new staff.
Just, there needed to be a change at the top of the football program here after the last season for Colorado State. And so, Jay Norvell comes over, had great success at the University of Nevada, led them to a bowl game the last 4 years. And, if you can win at Nevada that doesn't have great facilities and doesn't have a lot of resources, well, you certainly should be able to win at Colorado State, because when you compare CSU with the rest of the Mountain West Conference, the resources are there, the facilities are there. And I know this fan base really thinks, and rightfully so, that there's no reason that Colorado State shouldn't be competing for a conference championship every single year. And the fact of the matter is they haven't been doing that the last 4 or 5 years.
Now, you've been watching them in practice and got to see the first game at Michigan. Did Coach Norvell, when he came in, was there a different style of play that he brought in, or just a different mindset?
Yeah, I think really both. There's a winning mentality that he brought with him over from the University of Nevada because, again, of their success. But, yeah, they're bringing over the air raid offense. Of course, you guys know a little something about that here this year with the implementation of that offense. And, he brings over Matt Mumme with him. And Matt Mumme's the associate head coach. And, of course, Matt Howe is really the inventor of the air raid offense. And so there's going to be a really good style of play here at Colorado State that I know fans are going to enjoy. And, so far on the recruiting front, Jay Norvell and his staff have done a great job. They've been able to, really, when you look at the commitments that they have coming in next year, now, of course, these guys still haven't signed, but Colorado State's starting to beat out Pac-12 schools for recruits. And that's where CSU has to be. You've got to go after some of the guys that the Pac-12 schools go after, and that's what Jay and the staff have been able to do. And they're able to start getting some of these skilled players, quarterbacks and wide receivers that want to come to Colorado State because of the facilities, and then because they know that they're going to play in an up-tempo, high-powered throwing offense.
So it will be interesting with two teams trying to play in that same style on Saturday. You guys opened up at Michigan in the Big House, which we have been there to open up a season before. And what was that experience like for you and the team?
Well, the actual game, I think the team wasn't having too much fun. But the fan base traveled well for it. There was a ton of Colorado State fans in Ann Arbor on Friday night. And just to go to the Big House, like you said, you've been there. It's a fun place to be. Now, we've been to the Swamp, been to Iowa last year, been to Alabama a couple of times. So you get to see some of these great places in college football. And it was quite an experience. When that game got scheduled, though, it got scheduled, I think, about 8 years ago. And we would have liked to have seen the Michigan team from about 3 or 4 years ago, not the Michigan team that they have here this year, because they are really, really good. And it's about as good of a Michigan team as they've had there in 2 decades.
I was looking at the schedule, and you guys, after this weekend, will go to Washington State and then home for Sacramento State before and then play gets really going for real in the Mountain West. And I would imagine that in Reno and in Fort Collins, that first week of October when Colorado State travels to Nevada, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, no, we saw the schedule come out, and there you sit, the very first game of the Mountain West Conference for the Rams. It's on a Friday night, national televised game from Reno, and I know the conference and the TV partners were looking at the schedule and saying, hey, how do we want to kick this thing off, and why not? Have Jay Norvell going back to Nevada. And, I think Nevada fans will not give him a warm welcome. Even despite the fact that, he kind of brought them back to prominence within the Mountain West Conference. Again, they've gone to 4 straight bowl games. But, look, it was an easy decision for him to make. He's getting about $1 million pay increase annually. He's going to a program that has a ton of resources, much better facilities, much better stadium. But I think the Nevada folks aren't exactly happy because he pulled 13 players from that Nevada roster last year and brought him over to Colorado State. That includes our starting quarterback, 2 starting wide receivers, 2 starting offensive linemen, 2 starting defensive players. So I think that's where some of the ire is gonna land when that game comes up on the schedule in early October.
Yeah, the other one, Wyoming, and that's just so close to each other, right across the border. Are they the biggest rival within the league?
Yeah, there's no question. It's Wyoming number 1 because there's only 62 miles that separates the 2 schools, and despite that 62 miles, it sounds like it's not very far. But the style of living between Fort Collins and Laramie is completely different. Wyoming views themselves as real blue collar, and they look at Fort Collins and it's in Colorado, and they they look at CSU as a little more white collar. So there's the contrast almost in cultures as well. It's a bitter rivalry, a great rivalry though. And then right behind that, it would be Air Force, which of course is also in Colorado, down in Colorado Springs, about 2 hours and 15 minutes south of Fort Collins.
Are you going to have some good weather for us this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be fabulous for the folks that have been out here, because right now it's 99 degrees in Fort Collins. It's an incredible heat rave. I mean, we don't get that in September. It's going to be 96 on Thursday, 77 on Friday, and it's going to be 64 on Saturday, which is going to be perfect football weather. We don't want any part of 99 degrees on Saturday. So, yeah, it's going to cool down just for the weekend, and it's going to be glorious.
Coach Stock loves it the colder it gets, so go ahead and get the temperature on down. So we'll see you on Saturday, and I appreciate you taking time tonight, and make sure your son gets a good hockey practice in.
Absolutely. It's that time of season. My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
All right. There's Brian Roth, the voice of the Colorado State Rams. Last chance to get your questions in for Coach Stock at blueraidernet@gmail.com. Got a couple already online waiting for him, and we'll get to those and more when we return. You're listening to Rick Stockstill Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, this is Coach Rick Stockstill. Have you heard about the MTSU debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? This is exactly what you need for your busy lifestyle. Need some cash? Use this card fee-free at Ascend's 2 on-campus ATMs and at thousands of ATMs worldwide. Bank where the Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union. Exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics.
Ascend is federally insured by NCUA. Visit us at ascend.org.
Murfreesboro, you can count on an award-winning service team for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Lee Company, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, recognized by Angie's List as a super service provider since 2008, is ready to assist with all your home maintenance needs. Heating and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, home improvement, and more. Experience the convenience of calling one phone number for all your home maintenance and improvement needs. Call Lee Company today at 615-867-1000 or visit leecompany.com.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, Chip Walters here. Lightning's Locker Room, powered by Textbook Brokers, is the place to get your Blue Raider gear. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Lightning's Locker Room is just across the street from Floyd Stadium at 1321 Greenland Drive. It has all the MT polos, hoodies, T-shirts, hats, and all the other game day gear you'll ever need. See the selection online at mtsugear.com or at Gate 2A on game days. Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider, powered by Textbook Brokers.
Another season of women's and men's college
Chip, this is the
sports
last
is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Welcome back into the Boulevard here on this Tuesday night. Don't forget, coming up on Saturday, we'll have the broadcast beginning with the tailgate show at 1:30 p.m. and kickoff is at 3 o'clock Central, and we'll have the broadcast there. Do have a few email questions tonight, Coach, and want to get those to you. First from Rick Henniger, and he wanted to know, how do you feel that we will compete against Colorado State?
Really well. I'm excited about going there. Our players are excited about going there. It's they got a good football team, much improved from last year. But you know, we're hungry. We're embarrassed by last week. We're highly motivated, and I think we'll play really well.
Yeah, the Brian Roth was talking about the air raid offense and all of that. Did they get going fast last week at Michigan? I know I feel like you guys wanted to play faster than you did, but never got to that position where you could.
Yeah, they were probably very similar to us. They never could, establish anything against Michigan. It was tough sledding for them also. But we know that where Matt has been, Matt Mumme, where he's been and what he's done, and what his dad has done, their philosophy and everything, that they want to try to go as fast as they can.
Where does Mitch Stewart fall into all of that with the Mummies and Coach Leach and all of those? Where does that family tree kind of go?
And I'm not 100% on this, but Chris Hatcher, I think, played for Hal at Valdosta State.
That's right.
And then Chris Hatcher was with Hal as a graduate assistant at UK. And then Mitch and Chris Hatcher, their paths.
Mitch went to Valdosta too, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
And, so Mitch has been with Chris at, at Valdosta, at Samford, at Murray State, so that's where Mitch probably, Chris's, influence from Hal Mumme is probably, a little bit there.
And everybody's, they say, okay, Colorado State, they play the air raid. Middle Tennessee now has the air raid offense. But they're all going to be a little different, and every coordinator, every coach is going to put their thumbprint on how they go about running it.
Yeah, I think the advent of the air raid, so to speak, at UK back in the day, that was all, 4 wide, 5 wide. Now you see so many teams using different personnel groupings. They'll still, use a tight end instead of 4 wide. Now they're, 11 personnel. You're getting more 2 back, 3 wide. So there's so many different personnel groupings, but try to do the same thing. So I just think that whole air raid words are a little bit outdated because so many people
and
do
a little bit
things.
misleading.
Yeah, I mean, the quarterback run wasn't invented back there when Hal Mumme was, doing it, the zone read stuff. So you throw that, into it. There's just so many different changes now.
Okay, Brian Dickey, he lives in McNairy County, and I think he is watching online tonight. And he says, Coach, thanks for taking my question. Do you feel that 2 road games right out of the gate is tough on your team? He said, my daughter is new to campus this year, and we're excited for the season.
Yeah, it's traveling's always tough, and especially, this one is going to be tough because you're going to it's a 3-hour flight. Thank goodness it's an afternoon game, we're going to get back, at midnight or so. Last week we get back at, midnight, 1 o'clock, whatever it was. And, so, yeah, traveling's hard. Traveling takes a lot out of you. And now going to this place, a different altitude, time zone changes and all that. So we'll be excited to be back home next week. There's a reason, they say a home field advantage, so going on the road is not easy. It's hard. So we'll be excited next week.
Yep, and again, Colorado State there in Fort Collins in Mountain Time, and it is a 3-hour flight, and hopefully you'll get a good tailwind coming home and cut a half an hour or so off of that, but you don't know that until you get the weather conditions. But you mentioned playing at altitude, and Don wanted to know, do you plan for that, or how do you deal with it with your team do you talk about it?
Yeah, I have talked about it, and I go back to BYU when we went out there 7-8 years ago. It's the same thing. It's, you either, when you go to places, you like the NFL, they always try to go a couple days early or, get there the day of the game. It's kind of you want to get there and get acclimated to it, or you get there where it's not that big a deal. So we're kind of in between when you fly out, on a Friday and, you're not there. So I don't want to talk about it a great deal because I don't want it to – you plant that seed in their head that, oh, wow, we're 5,000 feet above sea level, which probably most of them don't know what that means anyway. I don't know what it means.
We're about 600 feet here,
yeah,
so that's
it's still, I don't know
it's
what
less
that
than
means.
that maybe.
So we'll talk about it. I think hydration, is critical, and I've spent a great deal of time the last few days talking about that.
Last couple of weeks, we've had schools that we're familiar with that played out in Hawaii, and I remember going out there to the bowl game. That was one of those long trips where you actually had to plan stuff on the plane to keep them. Number one, you were hydrating, but every couple hours you kind of got them up, walking kind of a circle. This is not necessarily that long of a flight, but it's one of those you'll want to, us old folks will start creaking a little bit getting out of our seat.
Yeah, it's again like going to the Hawaii Bowl. We were there for a while, so you had a chance to, to get that flight out of you. We did the stretching stuff, on the plane and everything. And, so it's just something you got to be cognizant of. We'll get there and get them out of the hotel and walk around a little bit to get those creaks, out of our bones and get it acclimated as much as we can.
Bud Light is for the fans, and Bud Light will welcome fans back to Floyd Stadium next weekend when the Blue Raiders will host Tennessee State on the 17th. We'll take a timeout. Back with the final segment with head coach right after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Make a comeback after joint and back pain and get back to what you love with help from Ascension St. Thomas Joint Replacement Institute and Ascension St. Thomas Spine Institute. Our experienced care teams offer the latest technology to help shorten recovery, including minimally invasive options and robotic surgery. And to make getting care easier, we connect the dots for you, helping you navigate everything from imaging and lab services to pharmacy and physical therapy. Details about appointment scheduling can be found at ascension.org/St. Thomas Joint and Spine.
This is Coach Stockstill. I want to talk some trash. No, not about the game. I want to talk about the litter problem on our roadways. The Tennessee Department of Transportation spends $19 million every year just to pick up litter. There's over 100 million pieces of litter on our roadways at any given time, making our state unsightly and unsafe. Litter harms our highways, waterways, even our wildlife. So let's do something about it. Don't litter. Remind others not to, and report littering when you see it. We can beat litter, but only if we're all on the same team. Join the movement today. Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com.
With the Kroger Plus card, it's easy to get lower than low prices for the win. And for every $1 you spend, you earn fuel points, which can add up to $1 per gallon off at the pump for the win. Plus, save every day on groceries and get personalized digital coupons for the win. The Kroger Plus card. All you do is win. Big, big savings. Sign up now at Kroger.com and start saving. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's
Hey, Chip, this is the last commercial.
From your very first moment of contact.
Thank you.
Clean, professional installation of premium windows.
I'll be listening for the
siding,
music in
doors,
about
and more are designed to last
57,
while leaving
whatever.
your home looking amazing. Window World
Yeah,
and their
57,
lifetime
37.
warranty will always be
Gotcha.
there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and proud partner of Middle Tennessee Athletics because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
The Blue Raiders play here. WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
Back for a final segment on Rick Stockstill Live tonight. The Blue Raiders played their first ever game in the state of Colorado this weekend as they take on Colorado State on Saturday afternoon. And, Coach, your thoughts on just this Colorado State ball club and right now as you prepare, or more of your thoughts on just making sure your guys are right?
Probably a little bit of both, Chip. They're a really good football team. They've got a lot of new players, as that guy said. They've got some, really good players. Their defense, their corners are really good. That's a concern. They got a linebacker. Their middle linebacker is really good, and then their two edge guys, number 42 and 2, are lights out. They're game changers. So we gotta be cognizant, aware of them, and they got good skill players, like he said, on the offensive side of the ball. But like I told our team, it's we can't control anything that they do. Only thing we can control is us and how we prepare for this game, both mentally and physically, and then be ready to play a lot better game than we did Saturday. And I expect us to.
Where do you expect to see the most improvement?
I think just the consistency overall of everything. There wasn't, one glaring thing that you can say was bad. It was a combination of a lot of things. And, we got to play better at every position offensively, especially on the back end defensively. The kicking game, we got to tackle better. So I expect this, and I think we will. Our guys have got a great attitude, and have really, we're motivated to get out there Saturday and play.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where if you have an opportunity to get a bad taste out of your mouth, here it is.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about football. When you lose, you got to wait 7 days to play again. Baseball, basketball, they wait one day, or the very next day they get to play again. So we're hungry and excited to go out there.
All right, let's go get them.
Yes, sir.
Coach Rick Stockstill joins us tonight. We'll be back here next Monday night, but join us Mile High on Saturday starting at 1:30 with a tailgate show. Kickoff at 3 here on the Blue Raider Network. Good night from the Boulevard.